Oh my gosh, guys, can you hear that? If you listen real close, you can hear a Timmy saying Supreme is dead.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
And that's how you know the new season of Supreme is here.
I feel like I'm chosen. I'm covered in gold.
Welcome back, friends, to another edition of Fauntleroy's Finest, and Supreme is back!
We're gonna have a party, a party, a party.
That's right, Supreme Spring Summer 23 is here, and I have the week 1 drop list ready to go for you. We even have some sketchy retails from drops. This whole season is just starting off with a bang! I did a live stream this morning going over the lookbook items in a fair amount of depth. And if you want to check that out, the link should be up above here somewhere and in the description below. And if you want to stay up to the minute on all things Supreme, streetwear, sneakers, what have you, you should be in the Discord. It's free and the invite is in the description below. So come on in. Like and subscribe too if you want. Week 1 is a huge drop. I'm going to go over things kind of fast. If you have a question about anything specific for me, just leave a comment down below and I'll get right back to you.
Don't ask me dumb questions, man.
Alright, this feels good, like old times again. Supreme community, top to bottom. Let's get into it. First, the HOSP Mesh Back 5 panel. I'm not really sure what the hell HOSP is. Is it like hospital? Is it hospitality? Is it hospice? I don't really know what I'm doing with this hat. I don't hate it necessarily, but it is at the bottom of the list, so let's move along. Next, the Lion of Judah 6 panel. It's a lot of neat embroidery on this hat, but I'm not really feeling it, and it is at the bottom of the list as well, so moving along. And we can skip right over the Oval 6 panel.
Oh, crap.
Next up, this is why I don't have a lot of faith in Supreme community overall. This basket weave plaid shirt is kind of a sleeper in my book. I've never seen anything like this. These colors aren't that horrible. Not as good as last year's plaids, don't get me wrong there. Even still, these are decent colorways, and it's just kind of a unique looking plaid shirt. I'd be surprised if this doesn't sell out somewhat quickly. Week 1, everything kind of hangs out for a little bit. It really is your best chance at copying things from Supreme. However, we do have the new website. It's a Shopify site now, so all bets are off. Who knows what's gonna go on that site on Thursday. But I don't hate this plaid shirt. I don't agree with you people voting it down so much. Shame on you. Let's move along. Sweatshirt vest. Well, you guys know how I feel about vests. I'm confused by them. Usually I'm cold because of my arms, not because of my body here. So I'm not really into vests. I'm not into this vest, and I want to move along. Here we have the Supreme Umbro track pant. Now this Umbro collaboration is not as good as last season's at all, not even close. I'm not really feeling these at all. And I just stay away from things that have a gigantic tag on my ass. I just don't need that. I'm moving along from these as well.
My ass still hurts.
The Victory short sleeve top. That's a pass. Multi-stripe polo. Still gonna pass. Character soccer jersey. We're still passing. Quilt stitch sweater. I will give them brownie points for trying something new, but by gosh, I'm gonna pass.
No, I'm gonna pass on that one.
Next up, we have this striped puffer jacket. Drops is saying this is about a $249 price point. Not a terrible price point if that is what it is. At the end of the day, this jacket's kind of plain, but it would be a nice piece for you to wear. I don't really think it's gonna flip or anything like that, but if you wanted one for the personal, I think you'd like this jacket. Next up is this Supreme Sparkle Beanie. If you got a sparkle and you know who you are, then this probably is the beanie for you. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
You will ride eternal, shiny and chrome.
Now, it's very convenient that this tracksuit are the next 2 pieces in order. The Falcon Regalian zip-up hooded sweatshirt and the sweatpants that go with it. Drops has the sweatshirt at $198. I say that's a fair price point. He has the sweatpants at $158. I don't believe that's going to be the case there. They'll probably be a little closer to $188. Maybe even the same price as the sweater at $198. A lot of embroidery on those things. You can't forget about that. I think this is a really cool graphic. It did really stick out to me in the lookbook. And to be fair, my favorite piece of everything on the screen right now are those cream sweatpants. Those things look really good. I kind of want to put this as a sleeper item of the week as well. I think people have noticed it. I don't really think it's necessarily a sleeper. But if there's not a ton of these made and these sell out somewhat quickly, I could see these potentially doing well down the line. Next up, we have the Script New Era fitted hat. I cannot get behind any fitted hats for resale. If you like these for the personal, go for them. They should be in stock unless you're a size 8. Size 8s generally fly on any of those fitted hats, but you should be able to get pretty much any size, pretty much any color in these if you want them. Next up, we have some pants. Stone-washed black slim jean, again, personals if you want them, and then 6 colorways of the chino pant. All the pants make decent personals, a little pricey obviously, but again, if you want something nice, you gotta pay for it, right?
Who cares?
Next up, we have this sparkle cardigan. Honestly, I think this is also another kind of weird sleeper item. I honestly think the black one's kind of cool. The multicolored one isn't bad either. The blue might be a little too much blue for me, but maybe worth taking a gamble on one of those if you're a cardigan man like Highland is. You know he's gonna buy about 6 of those, probably. Next up, we have the first tee of the week, the children tee. It's the stuff goddamn nightmares are made of. If this t-shirt was in the Discord, I'd have Ephraim ban it because it's terrifying. Look at their frickin' eyes. I just know this was based on a painting by Henry Gunderson. I don't know anything else other than those children have demons inside them.
Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
Next, we have the location tee. This just has the names of cities where all the Supreme stores are. And they do it sideways because that's that street edge that we all love from Supreme. And then we have the New York tee. I mean, again, any of these are fine for the personal, but none of these, in my opinion, are really going to have a ton of legs. But quite honestly, one of the worst tee releases that they've had in quite some time. Next up, we have the Gore-Tex Leather 700 Fill Down Parka. That name literally translates to expensive, 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 expensive. It's Gore-Tex, it's leather, it's 700 down, it's a parka. I'm not going to tell you that it's not a cool item, but if you want it, you probably should start that GoFundMe, like, right now.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
All right, here we go. Here's another weird sleeper item. This one's going to be almost $500, very pricey, but I don't think that I've ever seen a jacket like this. A completely decked out in sequins varsity jacket from Mitchell & Ness. I would assume that these are going to be very rare. These should sell out pretty quickly, honestly. And I think black and blue are pretty safe bets here. They shouldn't lose money for you, but, you know, at the end of the day, it really does depend on stock for something like this. If they make 1 million of these, they will sit. There's not 1 million people that are going to want to buy this jacket. But I would have to imagine stock's going to be low on a full sequin jacket like that. So I would say that it's probably worth the risk if you're willing to put up like $500 to take a gamble on this jacket doing really well later. Next up, we have the Crochet Edge zip-up hooded top. Not really feeling this one. It's gonna be kind of expensive because it's crochet, and I just think it kind of didn't hit the mark. So, moving on. Here's the Umbro track jacket that goes along with the pants that were way down the list. The black jacket isn't horrible, but at the end of the day, I'm not really feeling this collaboration as much as the last. If you get really big sizes, maybe in that black jacket, you could do okay. But I think there's plenty of other things to focus on this week, and maybe just leave this thing alone. The 1-2 fuck you short sleeve top is kind of funny, to be honest with you. I don't want it. I'm not gonna buy it. It's gonna be like $66, something to that effect. Extra high-end premium t-shirt. I can't remember that far back to elementary school. I didn't remember that's how numbers went, but you know what? I'll go with it. 1-2 fuck you.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool.
Next up, we have the Ronin Silk Short. I dig some of the Ronin items that are coming out this week. I do like the prints that are on these shorts. I just, myself, don't really need silk shorts, but I do think that the graphics on these are really good, and I do like the silk shirts that we will see on down the line. If the price point is $128 on these, like Drop says, you might have a little wiggle room for some resale value. But like a few other items that we've already seen, I think there's just better things to focus on than these shorts, even though I think that they're super cool. Next, we have the small box logo long sleeve tee. Make them every year. Let's move along. Here we have the rigid slim jean. Again, the jeans are nice personals. I don't really think that you're flipping them, maybe 38s, but I think these stay in stock pretty much all year long. So get some jeans if you need them. Next up, we have the Fauntleroy Finest Discord admin outfit. That green jumpsuit is coming to all you guys that are in the Discord and have any sort of admin, and you're gonna have to wear it all the time.
We wear caps and sleeves at this level, son.
They probably want it. They're like, yeah, send it. Honestly, anytime we've ever seen coveralls from Supreme, they've sold out pretty quickly. I can't say that I recommend that you go out for these, but again, it's an item that doesn't release all the time. The Lamborghini ones did really well. I think we had some other ones as well that weren't that actually good looking, and they did okay too. We had those astronaut suits that sold out immediately. If you have a fancy garage to work in, you need a fancy coverall, and that's what these are. If they are $178, that really isn't a bad price on these. We've seen them go for a lot more than that, and still do okay. There's no way that I'm going to remember to look for these on week 1 drop day, so it's probably going to get buried a little bit. If you do want them, I would probably go after them pretty quickly. They usually don't make that many of these guys, so if you need them and you want to gamble on them or whatever, go after them pretty quick. Next up, we have another jean, the Stonewashed Slim Jean. Same thing, good personals. If you need jeans, then go ahead and grab them. Now here we have the first item that I would say is a great multi-cart item, so if you're buying other things, throw this little beanie in there, and I think you'll like it a lot. Having to hit $250 to get free shipping is a little rough, but if you're right there, those beanies are going to be good items, and they'll do well in the future. Specifically the black one, probably the gray one too, it kind of has some Seattle vibes. Either way, great little item to add if you're throwing a multi-cart together. Next up, we have this Script hooded sweatshirt. I really do like when they do new Supreme spellouts. I don't hate on that. I just think they've made so many Supreme spellout hoodies in the past couple seasons. I expect these to sit, and I expect these to sit hard. So if you want this for a personal, grab it, 100%, cool item. But I don't really expect them reselling, and if they do, it would be XXLs in 1 or 2 specific colorways. Next up, we have the Smoke Tee. Now, I can't tell if I like this tee because it's clever, or because it's lazy, or because the other tees aren't that good, but I kind of like this tee for some reason. I'm probably going to grab one no matter what. I don't know if I can pass up a cat on a t-shirt smoking, but I don't really see a lot of resell in this one, so if you're gonna get it, I would plan to wear it. Next up, we have the regular jeans. Now, I do like that they're kind of branching out with some different colorways. They have the pink, that stone-washy green weird color on the end is pretty cool as well. There's a potential that colorway in a 38 might have some resale value, but again, at the end of the day, there's a lot of better things to focus on than jeans. Here we go, my best friend Sean Cliver throwing another great graphic at us. This Reaper graphic looks really good on these decks. I like Sean Cliver much more than the rest of the world does, obviously. Now, his stuff doesn't flip as much as I would like it to. I guess that works out better for me, because if I ever want any of it, I can get it for the most part.
Nice.
I think when you see these deck sets with like 3 or more, it's going to be hard for the decks to really resell down the road. I mean, they're just different colorways. If I really, really like that deck and I really wanted the brown one, but I can get the black one for, you know, $60, I'm just going to get the black one. It's basically the same graphic. That's how people are going to think. And they upped the price on the decks last season. Now they're $60, and the shipping on the decks is $14. So week 1 is a great week to pick up a deck if you're buying something else. If you buy like a jacket, throw the deck in as well, then you don't have to pay all that extra shipping for the deck if you were just buying it on its own. I know it sounds dumb, like $14, but at the end of the day, if you $60, then you have tax on it with another $14, you're spending like $88 on this deck that you kind of liked. But again, I love this design, cool ass deck, and I dig all those colorways as well. I don't really think one is greater or worse than the others. Very nice. Alright, next up we have the T-Rex T. T-Rex T, but that's 2 T's. Is it a double T? I mean, this is a big silly graphic, lots of raptors doing raptor things in New York City. A couple of them are breaking a Supreme sign. I think that one in the front is getting down with the Statue of Liberty.
I pure, straight, hate you. But god damn it, do I respect you.
I mean, this is a kind of tee worth probably gambling on. If you can get an XXL black in a multi-cart, why not, right? Next up, we have the Supreme Ebbets S logo fitted hat. This thing's made out of wool. Pretty cool hat, to be honest with you. Maybe worth a gamble in the bigger sizes. I bet they didn't make a ton of these hats. The gray one, the black one, the blue one might be good little items to add into a multi-cart, you know, if you're buying something trying to get to that $250 range. Next up, we have the small box logo sweat pant. I mean, again, they make these every year. Let's just move along. Next up, we have the washed chino twill camp cap. I'm not really feeling that unique design one as much, but obviously black ones always do really well, so if you can pick one of these up, another great item to add into a multi-cart, the black version of this hat. And here we have the Hanes special colorway. Looks like PP yellow.
Dude, Troy peed himself.
Yes, it's pretty gross. It's very neon yellow. I'm gonna buy the socks, you know, I need new socks. They don't last very long. I'm gonna have some yellow socks. So if I fall off the ship when I'm at work, at least you guys are gonna find me. Next up are these Forms skateboard decks. I assume that these are sold in pairs, so you're probably gonna spend like 120 on them instead of 60 or whatever they end up being. It's definitely decent artwork, but nothing entirely special. If you like them, you should buy them, but I don't see these reselling for any reason. Next up, we have a suede camp cap. Again, we don't see a ton of these being made, but I just don't really think that there's a huge demand for suede camp caps. I guess if you wanted to gamble on it, maybe the black one, but I think you should just pass on this one. Now, I think that these Ronin silk shirts are really cool. These would be like another sleeper item in my book. Drops has the price on these listed at $158. I think that's a decent price on a silk shirt like this. I really do like both graphics. I kind of think I'm leaning towards the yellow orangey graphic more than the blue. It just, there's more stuff going on there. But 100%, I think this is a great one to gamble on. These could do really well. Silk shirt, not gonna make a ton of them. And I really do think that they use some really good graphics on these. So I do see these being pretty safe if you go after the bigger sizes in these. They should appreciate pretty good over time. Next up, we have the Mitchell & Ness Satin basketball shorts. If you want to be really sassy, you should buy some of these satin basketball shorts.
You got this, Travis. Make them wait for it. Boom.
I'm definitely not sassy enough for them. Maybe Efren in the Discord. Maybe Larry, he's the pant guy. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably just gonna move along. Here we go, Larry's favorite pin, the one to fuck you. Yeah, if you can't buy it on the t-shirt, then you're definitely gonna need the pin. Another great multi-card item. I'm not really sure why they made baseball jerseys with basketball shorts. I assume they do a lot of drugs over there, so I'm not really gonna fault them. At least they both are sports. The green one is kind of cool, but again, I don't really know how much we need a satin baseball jersey. I mean, if you get it, it probably looks good. I think Kurt Diggler from the Discord, he could probably rock this and it look good. I think if somebody saw me wearing this, they'd probably hit me, and I'd be okay with that. I probably deserved it. Here we go, a small box logo hooded sweatshirt. Again, make these all the time. Let's move along. Next up, we have a really cool jacket, this Shibori denim trucker jacket. I think this has some potential to do really well. We have had a lot of denim jackets coming out down the line here, but these are really cool. Nice big spell out on the back. Drops has these priced around $300. That is kind of high. That really does take away from any resale value that this would have. It could be something worth taking a gamble on. However, if you like this jacket, I would wait for the pants that we have coming up in a second here. Just FYI, everything that I've talked about before now are below these yellow socks on the Supreme community list. Let that sink in.
That's not going to be good for business.
Next up, we have these Field Messenger bags. I do think these are really cool. However, the price point at $118 kind of puts them in a weird spot for me. And I think that's why they're kind of at the lower end on the list for the bags that are coming out this week. Really cool item. If you don't care that they're $118, I think that you'll really like them. But if you do like this style of bag, I probably would just wait and either get the smaller version of it or the actual backpack and not the messenger bag. Next up is the Sketch embroidered short sleeve top. Honestly, not a bad top. $78 is what Drop says these are. If it's an embroidered top with that big spell out, I think that might be worth it if you get those big sizes in good colorways like black. The obvious problem with the short sleeve shirts is the premium price point starting at $68, so that's like the best you can hope for, that this is going to be $68. Who knows with it, right? It would be totally a gamble, but again, XXL black, you could probably make a little bit off of it. Alright, here we go. I think this is probably the best reseller in the field bag category, the field side bag. These will probably be around $48, $50. We saw last year's side bags go for a fair amount higher than... We saw last year's side bags go for about double, sometimes triple. Some of the bags were even quadruple that price point. I think these are hardly a gamble at all. There's almost no chance in hell that you won't make a little bit of money off of these if you bought them. And like I said, I don't think you can really go wrong with any colorway. If you're looking for reselling, probably the red and the black. Personally, I really do love the olive colorway in this. And like I said, I really don't think you can go wrong with this particular item. Next up, here we go, my boy Sean Cliver. The Reaper tee is laying it down for you guys.
You might be a king or a little street sweeper, but sooner or later you dance with the Reaper.
He brings heat to every tee that he puts out. I think this is one of his better tees in a while as well. It's no nun tee. Let's just be honest with you. It's no nun tee, but this does feel like a nice classic Supreme image. This Reaper looks like Skeletor if he got hit with the fentanyl bug. Somehow creepier and way more dangerous. I think my favorite colorways for this shirt are the khaki colorway and black, obviously. XXLs should do pretty good down the road. Like any t-shirt though, almost probably any Supreme item, you're gonna have to hold it for a little bit. But the best thing about t-shirts is their retails are very low, so it's almost impossible to lose money on t-shirts. Unless you're me, who likes to give them away a lot. So if you want to win some free t-shirts from me, then you should make sure to set the notifications for the live streams, because on Wednesday nights, I give away something every night. And who knows, one day, maybe it'll be one of these Reaper shirts. Next up, here we go, the Shibori pants. If these are $228 like Drop says, I think these are a really good pickup, to be honest with you. I've seen jeans like this easily go for $350. Assuming these are somewhat limited, you should easily be able to make like plus $80, $100 on these jeans. That's just a complete guess in my opinion. If there's a ton of stock on them, obviously they're not going to resell for that much. But jeans like this in the past have notoriously done very well on the resale market, and I don't see any reason why these particular jeans wouldn't as well. Usually the biggest size 38, is the best for reselling. This is another great sleeper that you guys should target. Not sure if it's really a sleeper, but I definitely think anybody that picks up these jeans will be very happy with that in the future, whether you're wearing them or trying to sell them. Next up, we have this watercolor tee. It completely looks like somebody just splooged all over my shirt. Like when I walk into a room, people are gonna ask, did he have a meeting with Harvey Weinstein? Was he on Epstein Island? I don't know. I mean, why do you have a giant splooge on your chest? That's what they're gonna say to you.
That's a peanut.
I don't know how this t-shirt got voted higher than the Reaper. You people are crazy. You need to be checked into institutions. Do not vote for the splooge shirt anymore. But if you can pick this shirt up in XXL black, why not, right? I think it's worth a try. Maybe somebody needs that I just got splooged on look. Here we go. I really do like this reversible windstopper jacket. I think if I was gonna have to pick one, I like the patchwork blue one better than the black. These are kind of pricey, probably around $400 after tax and all. What I really do like is this reversible jacket, at least the quilted one, gives you two completely different jackets from one side to the other. It's really close to something that I want to say, yes, let's go all in on this thing, but there's a few just little things that make me go, I don't 100% love it. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's really, really close. I doubt that they'll make a ton of these. I don't think it's like the worst investment ever. I think there will be demand for this, but I don't think it'll be big enough to warrant spending close to $400 to bring it home and sit on it for a little bit, you know. It's a cool piece, but I think it's more of a personal, I guess. Next up, we have these Supreme trays. Looks like these are $28 according to Drops. I mean, these are decent little items to have around the house. I can't imagine that they're gonna flip for that much unless there's like none of them. Even if there are none of them, how many people really need a tray that badly?
I love it.
$28 is a great price point for anything from Supreme, so I mean, I guess why not? But that's just for one of these trays, not a set of them or anything. So again, if you want a tray, great, go get it. If not, let's move along. Next up, we have the Field waist bag. These are around $78. So again, that price point kind of makes it in this no man's land. And again, some of the better waist bags that Supreme has put out in several seasons. So if you like them, go for them. I'm not sure if they will sell out entirely. Usually the black colorways sell out pretty quickly on all the bags. But honestly, for resale purposes, I would focus on that side bag that we saw earlier, and not really this one. Alright, next up we have this bike tool. I mean, it is a really cool little item if you need a bike tool. I don't really think that it'll resell or anything, so again, just a personal. And he has this listed at like $78, so it's at a similar price point as like a decent knife would be. So I'd rather have a knife than a bike tool. Again, if you're a biker, you probably want a bike tool, but I'm not a biker, so I don't want a bike tool. Next up, we have the Field duffel bag. I think this duffel bag is a really good item to pick up. I think at $148, these duffel bags have the potential to do really well. Usually decent Supreme duffel bags do well over time. The black, the red duffel bag should do pretty good on the resale market. Usually for some reason the red colorways sell out really quickly. In the past I've seen these go for $200, $250, whatever it is. So again, I don't really think you can lose money buying a duffel bag. I'm not really sure if these will sell out immediately or anything like that, like you need to jump on them right away, but as the season moves along and they don't restock, the price on these duffel bags will go up, 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 up. And you'll be like, dang, I wish I would have grabbed a duffel bag. Fauntleroy told me to do it. Like I said, probably don't have to rush. You might have a few weeks to pick these up if you're lucky. Next up, we have these Supreme chip clips, or whatever kind of clips they are. Drops is saying $4. It comes in a set of 3. There's no way it's $4. If it's $19.99, what the heck? Throw it in there. Nice little item for a multi-cart. I can tell you this. You show me a man, and I'll show you a man that needs some mini clips. Next up, we have this set of translucent crayons. He has this priced out at $48. It probably does go with my collection. I just think I'm going to have other things to focus on, and I really highly doubt that these will sell out anyway. So if I do want these, if you do want these, you should have ample time to pick these guys up. These Staub cocottes sell for like $300 without the Supreme stuff on them, so we can assume that it's going to be closer to $400 for this pot. These are really nice high-end items. You can make some nice dishes in it, but I do not see this reselling. You can just buy the exact same thing in other colorways for $300, and this one will be like $375 to $400, so it's just going to be a personal item if you want it. Next up, we have this Kurt Cobain tee. I was really excited when I heard they were going to put Kurt Cobain on a t-shirt. I had so many great ideas. There's so many great pictures of him to put on a shirt, but they chose this particular image. It's kind of a letdown for me. It could have been way cooler. They could have put a little more thought into the shirt. Again, it's still going to be a decent item. I think black XXLs probably will do okay. All the Timmies know who Kurt Cobain is, so they're talking about this t-shirt as if it has some sort of great value to them already. So I can see this shirt potentially reselling down the line. I'll probably be grabbing this t-shirt as well, but again, was kind of a miss for me. I'm a little bit disappointed at how they executed this t-shirt. Here we go, this Field backpack. I'm totally into this. I think I'm definitely going to buy one of these Field backpacks for myself. I need a new backpack. This looks like it has a good size compartment in it. All the other ones have been just almost a little too small for my laptop, and I really do like the olive one. I think for reselling though, the black, the red, those should do really well too. $158, not a bad price point. These should easily get into the 200s. As the season progresses. It won't be right away, but they will go up. I also think that these don't sell out right away. You should be able to get these for hopefully the first week or so, and usually they restock bags throughout the season, so you might see restocks of these bags coming out throughout the season. So shouldn't be a priority for you to go after, I have to grab this, but they usually do make money over time, and I do think that these are unique bags from Supreme, and they should do pretty well. Next up, we have the #1 t-shirt of the week according to Supreme Community, the Tonal box logo t-shirt. What do I have to say? Obviously, you should go after box logo t-shirts. This will be the item that probably sells out first because it has the name box logo in it. Not really sure which colorways to recommend. I think the black colorway is good. XXLs, obviously, when I'm recommending these. That blue colorway isn't too bad. The purple colorway I like as well. And I guess that khaki colorway isn't bad either. Not really feeling the white one too much, and personally I don't really like the red one either. But I think if you can get any colorways in decent sizes like XL, XXL, you should do okay. I don't think these are going to sell for a ton. I see these probably hovering around maybe 100, maybe 120 if you get lucky. They should make you some money. I wouldn't expect it to be like 2020 box logo numbers, you know what I mean? And then finally, you know it's not the greatest week when a deck is on top, this tonal deck. But usually 3 colorways is kind of a kiss of death for decks. I don't think any of these colorways stick out necessarily. The white one is probably the worst one of the bunch, so red, then black, then white is way down on the list. But I honestly don't see these reselling a ton right away or anything like that. Again, these are some nice big spellouts, but we've had a ton of big spellouts on decks lately, and I don't think that these set themselves apart from any of the other ones in any way, shape, or form.
You did. You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Whew! There you go, we got through it. That is a gigantic list of items. If you don't know, week 1 usually lasts for 2 weeks, so they launch on Thursday the 16th. Then the following Thursday, they will skip that week. There will be no release. And then I believe it's the 2nd, Thursday the 2nd, that's when they'll release week 2.
Dude, what the fork?
And we're supposed to get our first collab in week 2. It's supposed to be a shoe, so lucky you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if for some reason this long video has not given you the Fauntleroy fix that you need in your life today, well then you should check out these videos right here.
Frog eyes, and I never been the one to go apologize. Me, I'd rather hit them up one more time.